Good evening, everybody, and welcome to Hamilton Southeastern Royals basketball on AudioSportsOnline.net. I'm Brian Scott. It is Valentine's Day. Happy Valentine's Day to each and every one of you, and thanks for joining us for some Royals basketball on ASO. Hamilton Southeastern coming home after a huge win last Friday night. They went on the road to take on the 7th-ranked Carmel Greyhounds, and they did something very few teams ever walk away from Carmel doing. They blew out the Greyhounds by 21 points by the score of 72-51 in what has been a crucial final 5 games for the Royals as we head into the sectional draw that will take place this weekend. Coming off of wins against Newcastle and now Carmel, the Royals will finish up the season tonight with the 10th-ranked Pike Red Devils before traveling to Brownsburg for the final regular season road game against the Bulldogs in an HCC matchup that does have some possible Hoosier Crossroads Conference title implications. And then they will have senior night next Thursday here at home against a very good Lawrence North Wildcat team. But tonight it's the Red Devils making their way to Hamilton Southeastern, ranked 10th. And this should be a very, very good basketball game, so I'm glad you have joined us. Southeastern coming off of that big win against the Greyhounds Friday night by the score of 72-51. And they basically got the lead in the first quarter, led by just 2 after the end of the first quarter, and then blew things open in the second quarter and really never looked back. A big night for Zach Gunn, scoring 27 points against the Greyhounds. And Connor Rotterman, who had actually been in a little bit of a slump the previous few games, boy, he came out of it in a big way. He scored 16 points. He was also 4-4 from the free throw line against the Greyhounds, and 2 of 3 from beyond the arc, as Connor Rotterman had a very good night on a night that Aaron Etherington really wasn't feeling his best. The Royals also got great contributions from Jack Davidson. Chaz Birchfield played some good minutes, and Austin Holtzum also played some very, very good minutes as Hamilton Southeastern did a job. Scoring had been a bit of a problem for the Royals the past few games. They started to come out against Newcastle, and then they continued with some very good shooting against the Greyhounds. They shot 47% from beyond the arc, 43% overall from the field, and on the night, 19 of 20 from the free throw line. That would prove huge down the stretch as the Royals were able to keep the Greyhounds at bay and take a Greyhound team that really does not turn the ball over that much, force them into turnovers, turn them into points, and the Royals come away with the victory, and that improved Southeastern's record to 17-4, and also was their 3rd consecutive win. They're going to take on a Pike Red Devils squad that is coming off of a loss the other night, but they did it against the North Central Panthers, and not too many teams have been able to beat North Central this year, as the Red Devils fell to North Central by the score of 77-63. The Panthers got off to a hot start in that game, and much like Hamilton Southeastern against Carmel, really just never trailed for the rest of the way and were able to come away with the victory. It was a tough night for some of the Red Devils on that night, but Justin Williams, one of their leading scorers, he had 25 points. Brandon Vernon came up with 13 points for the Red Devils in the loss. The Red Devils, 9 of 24 from beyond the arc against the Panthers, and 12 of 17 from the line. This is a Red Devils team that, when you look at these two teams matching up against one another, these two teams will match up very, very favorably. As a matter of fact, when you take a look at stats between the two teams, they're almost very, very difficult to distinguish, as both these teams about the same from beyond the arc, about the same from the number of points they score. Hamilton Southeastern probably a little bit better offensively than the Red Devils. The Red Devils a little bit better, especially on the front line, which we'll be talking about in just a moment. Pike comes in averaging a little over 63 points per game as we head into tonight's contest, while Hamilton Southeastern is averaging a little over 72. Both these teams rebound the basketball very well, both of them averaging about 31 rebounds per game. And the Red Devils and the Royals both do a good job of distributing the ball to get their points. Both teams averaging well over 15 assists per game. The Red Devils come in averaging over 16 assists per game, while the Royals average over 17 assists per game. Both teams do a fairly good job with steals, where the Red Devils have a little bit of advantage along the front line. They're a little bit more of a shot-blocking team when you take a look at their front line players. We'll talk about that in just a moment, but they've got a couple of very, very good front-line players that coming into tonight's game, that's going to be a challenge for Hamilton Southeastern, as both Darian Porch and Isaiah James, both 6'6". They do a good job of protecting the rim, and the Royals will be without Aaron Etherington for tonight's game. He was sick after the Carmel game, and he is scratched. He will not play tonight. He will be replaced by Chaz Birchfield. So we're going to see a lot by Zach Gunn, going to be the primary job, trying to keep the ball for the Royals, and then we'll see what else we can get defensively for Hamilton Southeastern, especially off of the glass and protecting the rim. Both these teams, like I said, do a good job scoring the basketball, and when we take a look at the defenses for both of these teams, Hamilton Southeastern tonight comes in giving up just about 60 points per game, while the Pike Red Devils give up a little over 56 points per game. Southeastern scores about 72 points, while the Red Devils score about 63. So before we talk any further, let's have tonight's national anthem.
Ladies and gentlemen, our national anthem.
That is our national anthem, as done here at Hamilton Southeastern very nicely on this Valentine's Day evening. I'm Brian Scott. Thank you for joining me for Royals basketball on ASO. Not quite a big crowd, especially for a very, very big game against two very, very good teams, but it is Valentine's Day. I realize there's a lot of people out celebrating with their honeys, and hopefully you've taken a little bit of time to join us here to catch some Royals basketball on ASO. And don't forget, if you didn't make the game, you can always catch the on-demand replay at audiosportsonline.net. Let's go ahead and again talk a little bit more about tonight's matchup between the 9th-ranked Royals and the 10th-ranked Red Devils. Southeastern, of course, led by senior Zach Gunn, who comes into tonight's game averaging a little over 21 points per game. Jack Davidson averaging 12 points per game. Connor Rotterman averaging 9.5, and especially that big 16-point effort against Carmel. That really helped. Connor had been on a little bit of a slump, but he looked really, really good against Carmel. And they're going to look for him offensively tonight with Aaron Etherington, their other big man, out. Etherington was averaging 8.5 points per game, but he will be unavailable tonight due to illness. So Chaz Birchfield is going to get the start for head coach Brian Satterfield. Chaz is averaging 3.5 points per game and over 3 rebounds per game. A lot of what Chaz does not show up in the stat book. He plays very, very hard, and they'll look for him especially to help rebound the basketball. They're going to be going up against a Pike Red Devil team that has some big guns that can really put up some points. They've got a pair of them. Justin Williams is a 5'11 guard. He averages over 14 points per game and just a couple of assists per the game. The other big man, Isaiah James, is a 6'6 senior. He's averaging 14 points per game and almost 9 rebounds per game. While the Red Devils, much like the Royals, they distribute the ball very well. They're very big in assists, a little over 16 assists per game compared to 17 for Hamilton Southeastern, and they have just about everybody is capable of making that extra pass when needed. They're led by Elijah Pennington, who has got almost 4 assists per game, but they also get Daituan Gary, who averages almost 3.5 assists per game. The protection of the rim, a little bit more of a strength for Pike than it is for Hamilton Southeastern, as the Red Devils average almost 4 blocks per game. And both teams on the turnover side, for the most part, they do a pretty good job taking care of the ball. You'll see Southeastern do just a little bit better job than Pike, but by most accounts, this is going to be a very, very even game, especially as how the stats compare for both the Red Devils and the Royals. So as we get ready for some basketball, let's give you the particulars as we get ready here at Hamilton Southeastern. First off, for the Pike Red Devils, they are ranked 10th in Class 4A with the polls that were released today, and they are coming off of that loss to North Central 77-63. The head coach is Bill Zeich, an outstanding head coach in his 7th year at the helm of the Red Devils, 127-48 in his 7 years at Pike, and 382 and 299 in his 30th year overall. Ever since he came to Pike, with the exception of last year, he has led the Red Devils to a sectional championship, including that trip in 2012 where they made the semi-states. Last year, the Red Devils finished 17-8. It was the first time the Red Devils did not win a sectional title. His starting lineup as we get ready for basketball, let's tell you what his starting lineup is. Starting at a guard is a 5'9 junior, Daituan Gary. Another guard is a 5'11 senior, Justin Williams. The third guard is a 6' senior, Elijah Pennington. At forward, a 6'6 junior, Darian Porch. And the other forward is a 6'6 senior, Isaiah James. So the backcourt for the Red Devils, Gary, Williams, and Pennington. And the forwards are Porch and James. That is the starting lineup for Bill Zeich's Pike Red Devils. For the Hamilton Southeastern Royals, they have a record of 17-4. They are ranked 9th in Class 4A after that big win against previous number 7 Carmel. The head coach is Brian Satterfield, 256 and 115 in his 16th season overall. And if you're wondering what the standing ovation is for, the 26 points scored by Zach Gunn against Carmel made him the leading all-time scorer in Hamilton Southeastern history as he surpassed Gary Harris. So your leading scorer of all time for the Royals is now senior Zach Gunn, and he will be instrumental again tonight. The starting lineup for Brian Satterfield will have a guard, starting at a guard will be a 6'1" sophomore Noah Smith. At guard, a 6' senior Jack Davidson. The third guard will be a 6'1" senior Connor Rotterman. Getting the start at forward in place of Aaron Etherington will be a 6'4" junior Chaz Birchfield. And as we mentioned, Zach Gunn, a 6'7" senior, will get the start for the Royals, now the all-time leading scorer in Hamilton Southeastern history. So once again, the backcourt will see Smith, Davidson, and Rotterman. The front court, Birchfield and Gunn. That is the starting lineup for the Hamilton Southeastern Royals. The Red Devils, as I mentioned, ranked 10th with a record of 15-5. These two teams have met 12 times in their history, and Pike holds a slight lead, 7-5. We mentioned Gary Harris. Some of us might remember that epic game years ago back at Pike in which Gary Harris and Zach Irvin led Hamilton Southeastern to, I believe it was around a 107-102 victory on a night that went only in regulation. A lot of points put up that night. So we're getting ready for basketball here. Hopefully you are too, as we will have starting lineups being announced as we speak. Davidson coming in averaging about 12 points per game, 3 assists, and he's seen his scoring bounce a little up and down the past few games. He had about a 4-game stretch where Jack really couldn't miss anything. He was hitting everything in sight, whether it was from 2-point beyond the arc or from the free throw line. But since really the North Columbus game, he has had a little bit of an up and down stretch. They might need his offense tonight, especially when you take a look at these Red Devils. This is a game that will likely get up and down the court rather quickly. So we'll see how the Royals do as we get ready for basketball tonight. Once again, happy Valentine's Day, everybody. I'm Brian Scott. Thanks for joining me tonight. The Red Devils will be in the road red with the white numerals and the black trim, and the Royals will be in the home white with the royal blue numbers and blue trim. It'll be Zach Gunn jumping center against Isaiah James. And once again, the starting lineups for the Red Devils: Justin Williams, Daitwan Gary, Elijah Pennington, Darian Porch, and Isaiah James. And for the Royals, Jack Davidson, Chaz Birchfield, Connor Rotterman, Noah Smith, and Zach Gunn. So we're about ready for some basketball. Not a bad Valentine's Day night outside. Not all that cold for mid-February, as a matter of fact. The weekend looks absolutely outstanding with temperatures, well, some say maybe even around 70 come Sunday. So not a bad February here in central Indiana, and should be a great night of basketball. Pull up a chair and join us here on Audio Sports Online. So Gunn and James. Isaiah James to jump center. Ball is in the air, and the trip is controlled by the Pike Red Devils. As bringing across the timeline will be Daitwan Gary. He'll run the point. Give it left side to Williams, and Gary will send it right side to Pennington. And back up top, this is Darian Porch. Getting around a screen. As I mentioned at the top of the broadcast, the Red Devils are a team that each and every player does a fairly good job of distributing the ball, making that extra pass. As Williams has it knocked out of bounds, they'll say it went off of Noah Smith. Smith will plead to the other official, but the ball will remain in the hands of the Red Devils. Just underway as that one's stolen and thrown practically right to Jack Davidson, to Connor Rotterman. Rotterman's bump shot was long. Gunn went up for the rebound, missed it, but the ball fell in the hands of Chaz Birchfield, and Birchfield gives the Royals a 2-0 lead. Connor was looking for the foul, got the bump as Noah Smith poked that pass away from Justin Williams. This is something that the Royals are going to need tonight. Good fast hands, get the hands up in the passing lanes, try to disrupt some of this. They did a very good job against the Greyhounds in keeping their hands in the passing lanes and disrupting several of the Greyhounds' passes, and they're also forcing the Greyhounds into turnovers. Driving in the lane, the runner is no good by Darian Porch, and Birchfield has the rebound. He'll give it to Rotterman, and Rotterman will back it up. 2-0 Southeastern, 6:40 remaining in this opening quarter as Davidson has the basketball. He'll give it to Noah, and Noah will work on Justin Williams as both teams start this game in a man-to-man. Here's Zach Gunn with the basketball, and Royals' leading scorer will pop a three, and that one's well short. Smith has the rebound, throws it off, and they'll say it went off of a Red Devil. Zach, uncharacteristically, very, very short on that. Don't know if he thought he was fouled or maybe coming out to get the tip was Elijah Pennington, but the ball remains in the hands of Southeastern as Davidson's inbound to Gunn is knocked out of bounds by Isaiah James, and this time Davidson will inbound from the near sideline. As he throws it in the backcourt, Noah Smith retreats, and with 6:15 left to go in the first quarter, Smith brings it across the timeline. Royals lead 2-0. Here's Rotterman, drives, and a reverse layup is up and good. Connor Rotterman with his first points, 4-0, and the Red Devils come right back. We said they would get up and down the court quickly, and Darian Porch did just that, and he gives the Red Devils their first points of the game. They trail 4-2. They try to feed Gunn. That pass is intercepted, and outlet to Darian Porch as Isaiah James intercepted the pass, and Porch leaked out and was wide open for the outlet, and we're tied at 4. 5:30 left to go first quarter. Now Chaz Birchfield on a great find from Zach Gunn. Birchfield has 4 points. As we mentioned, Chaz averages 3.5 points per game, so we haven't played 2 minutes, or we haven't played 3 minutes of this basketball game, and Birchfield already has surpassed his season high. Getting the start from Aaron Etherington tonight, who is ill. He was ill after the Carmel game. A nice denial there by Birchfield. Here's Rotterman. Rotterman to Birchfield with the flush. And Chaz Birchfield, 6 points to begin this game. He has 6 of the 8 Royals points. And the Royals lead by 4 with 4:49 left to go in the first quarter. Birchfield getting the start, making the most of it here, as he has a quick 6 points. As the Red Devils get it into the hands of James, they'll feed down low and have to kick it back out. Here's a 3 on the way. That's long by Pennington. Ball is rebounded, and the putback is up and good by Darian Porch. Porch with all 6 of the Red Devil points. They trail by 2, and Noah Smith with a nice little baseline drive to the hook has his first points, and the Royals once again lead by 4, 10-6, as we approach the midway point of the first quarter. Porch will hand the ball off to Pennington, who will be picked up by Connor Rotterman. Royals stay in a man-to-man. This is Daitwan Gary, who'll send it back over to Pennington. 3:49 left to go in the first quarter as Pennington's cut off, and he is given to Williams, and Justin Williams is going to be called for the offensive foul. Our first foul of the contest is an offensive one against the Red Devils. Justin Williams, his first, and the first team foul against the Red Devils. The Royals have gone over 4 minutes and 20 seconds without committing a foul themselves. They lead by 4 with 3:35 left to go in this first quarter. Here's Smith to Rotterman, 3 from the corner. That's no good. Rebound is finally controlled by Isaiah James. He'll give it to Elijah Pennington. Pennington left side, they feed down low, poked away as the entry pass from Daitwan Gary to Darian Porch is knocked out by Zach Gunn. Austin Holtzum will come in. He'll give Noah Smith a breather, and Elijah Pennington will depart. He'll be replaced by Tyree Tyree Piggies. Meanwhile, on the entry pass, nowhere to go, so setting it out, Porch to Isaiah James. He works over Gunn. Shot no good. James with the rebound. He left his putback no good. The third tip back is no good. Ball is loose, and Connor Rotterman comes away with it. Now we have a foul by Tyree Piggies. Red Devils with 3 chances, couldn't come away with any points. Correction, they give the foul to Justin Williams, and that's his second. Williams, one of the leading scorer for the Red Devils, with 3:05 remaining in this first quarter, has already picked up 2 quick fouls, and he'll be replaced by Brandon Vernon. Vernon had a good game against North Central, as the Royals have the basketball up by 4 with 3:02 remaining in the first quarter. This is Holtzum with the basketball. He'll feed up top to Davidson. Davidson back to Holtzum, lobs it to Zach. Nice entry pass, and Gunn finishes it at the hoop. Beautiful entry pass by Austin Holtzum. Here come the Red Devils. Birchfield saves it back in. Rotterman has it, and here come the Royals. Connor right side to Davidson. Davidson will back up, bounce it to Birchfield. Nice feed, and Birchfield to Zach Gunn. And that's going to cause Bill Zeig to call a timeout, a 30-second timeout with 2:29 remaining in this first quarter as Southeastern has jumped out to a 14-6 lead. We've seen Chaz Birchfield already with some big points. He has 6 points in this basketball game, add a couple of assists and a couple of rebounds, and he's hit pretty much all of his season averages within the first 3+, 4+ minutes of this basketball game. So a great job by Birchfield getting the start for Aaron Etherington tonight. And Southeastern is out in front 14-6. Meanwhile, for the Red Devils, all 6 of their points are coming from Darian Porch, and they are having some problems. They had about 3 chances at the other end just a moment ago and couldn't convert before the Royals managed to control the basketball. And they will have the basketball, trying to drive baseline and getting bumped. No basket as Isaiah James drives baseline. It will be Chaz Birchfield called for the foul. That is the first Southeastern foul of this basketball game, as the Red Devils will inbound from the baseline and swing it. Here's James, works, and he'll be called for steps. Wanted to do that crossover dribble to get to the other side of Zach Gunn, and called for traveling. So the turnover gives the ball back to the Royals, who lead by 8. Rotterman drives, leaves it to Birchfield. Birchfield lost it and then gives it to Holtzum. Holtzum, now it's stolen. Going the other way and flushing it with one hand is Isaiah James. And the net gets hung up on the basket, so play will be stopped briefly. James read the pass all the way, took it in for the flush. That makes it a 14-8 game. And now a steal on the inbounds. It's Daituan Gary. As 4 quick points off of 2 turnovers, make it a 4-point game. Here's Gunn. Gunn down low to Birchfield, poked away, and into the hands of Brandon Vernon, and now a foul. If it's against Birchfield, that's his second. And it is. So Birchfield quicks up his second quick foul, and as good as Chaz has been playing in this first quarter, now he has to sit. Connor Rotterman will also go to the bench, and Nick Bowman and Aaron Shank will come in. Meanwhile, Darian Porch will depart for Bill Zeich, and Michael Jarrell will come in. Royals lead 14-10, but 2 quick turnovers led to 4 quick Red Devils points after Southeastern was up by 8. They've seen their deficit cut in half to 4. Now the Red Devils have the basketball. 1:30 left to go here in the first quarter, as they will feed Vernon. Vernon down low. James drives left side, and Isaiah James has his second bucket, and it's down to a 2-point lead, just like that. Left side, this is Austin Holtzum to Jack Davidson. They'll send it to Bowman. Bowman feeds Gunn. Gunn gets around, gets the bucket, and one. Because coming back after the bucket was Michael Jarrell. Gunn with his 6th point. And Jarrell will be hit with the foul for Zach. Is an 84% free throw shooter. And he rolls it over the front of the rim. He now has 7 points. And the lead's up to 5 with 60 seconds left to play in the first quarter. Bringing it up court is Daituan Gary. He'll send it over to Gerald. He'll give it up. Here's a baseline jumper. That is long by James and right in the hands of Aaron Shank. Bowman in the front court. 40 seconds remain in the quarter. Davidson finds Zach Gunn. Gunn works. Turnaround, baseline jumper. That's long into the hands of Gerald. And the Red Devils have the basketball up to trailing by 5. Here's a 3 on the way by Vernon. It's no good. Bowman has it. 25 seconds remain in the quarter. Southeastern leads 17-12, and now Bowman will slow it down and give it to Austin Holtzum as the Royals will play for the final shot of the quarter. Jack Davidson will take the basketball with 12 seconds remaining. And now Davidson works with 5 seconds, 4 seconds, feeds Gunn. 2 seconds, 1 second, has his shot blocked. There's Nick Bowman underneath, and they will count the basket as Bowman gets the loose ball. Gunn shot partially blocked, but Bowman was there to put it in, and after the end of the first quarter, Southeastern leads by 7, 19-12. Back with second quarter action after this. This is Royals basketball on ASO. Brian Scott back with you from Hamilton Southeastern High School after one quarter. The Royals lead the Red Devils 19-12. Zach Gunn had 7 points in that first quarter, but it was Chaz Birchfield getting the start. They started off hot for Southeastern. He had 6 points, several rebounds, a couple of assists. Unfortunately, Chaz also picked up 2 fouls, and now he's on the bench. And we'll start the second quarter for Hamilton Southeastern with Jaron Bond, Noah Smith, Nick Bowman, Zach Muchner, and Aaron Shank. So probably have not seen this group on the floor at all this season. Here's Bond. He loses the basketball, and it's picked up by Michael Jarrell. We'll set the Pike in a minute. And here's a long pass as Elijah Pennington was trying to feed down at the baseline, and the pass goes over the head of Tyree Piggies. Here is a travel by Noah Smith as he tried to get underneath. It is Darian Porch, joined by Brandon Vernon, Elijah Pennington, Tyree Piggies. Brendan Vernon and Michael Jarrell. And now we'll have a whistle and a turnover for a 3-second violation as they get camped out in the lane. So turnovers on each end. And it remains a 7-point lead for Southeastern, 19-12, as we've played about a minute here into the second quarter. Here is Muchner with the basketball to Aaron Shank. Wide open three, and Aaron Shank with the three. Shank drills it from the top of the key to make it a double-digit lead at 10, 22-12. Again, not a lineup we have seen Brian Satterfield really use at all. Here's a steal. Shank, Bond running interference, and now Shank takes it to the cup. We're going to have an intentional foul. They're going to call an intentional foul against Elijah Patterson. His first, team 4. 2 free throws and the ball coming up as Patterson, in trying to keep Shank, Bond running some interference. So Shank is at the line with 2 free throws, all by his lonesome. And the Royals will have the basketball after the intentional foul. Coach Bill Zeich not agreeing with it. And you could see Pennington's thought was to deny the easy layup, but he wrapped up Shank, and that brought on the intentional foul. Aaron with 1 more free throw. He canned them both. He now has 5 points, and now the Royals will have the basketball up by 12. Jaron Bond, Zach Muchner, Aaron Shank, Noah Smith, Connor Rotterman now in. And the Royals have the basketball. Rotterman to inbound. He finds Shank underneath, had it stripped away, however, by Tyree Piggies. Here comes the Red Devils. Piggies leaves it off. This is James, drives in the lane, traveling violation. And another turnover by the Red Devils. Bill Zeich over there off the sidelines just kind of turns around, and he points to the officials. Can you call that twice? Well, they have. And now the Royals look to extend on a 12-point lead. Smith finds Muchner. Muchner down low finds Noah Smith, and Noah Smith will finish it off. A great find by Zach Muchner. Smith gave the ball up, went straight to the cup. Muchner found him, and it's now a 14-point lead at 26-12. Under 6 minutes left to play first half. Pick and roll, they get it down low, but they'll have to send it back out. 3 ball on the way. That is long by James, and the ball finally comes down in the hands of the Royals. It is Rotterman. He leaves it to Smith, and Smith will come down. Was trying to get to Jaron Bond, but came down to the floor first, and that resulted in the traveling violation as Piggies will leave, and Daituan Gary will return. Zach Gunn will come back in. Zach Muchner will depart, and he'll get a nice hand slap there from Brian Satterfield, especially on that nice find to Noah Smith that led to the bucket that put the Royals up by 14. 26-12, 5:40 left to go in the half. Gary will get the ball back from Williams, and now they'll get a screen from James. Here is a 3-ball on the way. That is long, and the ball is rebounded by Noah Smith off the Darian Porch miss. Royals into the front court. Jaron Bond. Nice bounce pass to Smith, who leaves it to Zach Gunn, and Gunn finishes. Gunn with 9 points, and again, good ball handling by Hamilton Southeastern, and Bill Zeich is going to call another timeout, a full timeout, as he now watches the Red Devils fall by the score of 28-12. The Royals have gone on a 9-0 run to begin this second quarter, and much like Hamilton Southeastern did against the Greyhounds, they are doing the same thing here to the Red Devils. Getting contributions off the bench. Chaz Birchfield again getting the start tonight. We've seen some good play out of him. We've seen Aaron Schenk come in with a big 3, then hit a couple of big free throws. And Zach Gunn, well, being what the leading scorer in Southeastern history you might expect. He has 9 points, and we still have 5 minutes and 11 seconds to play in this second quarter. I'm Brian Scott. Happy Valentine's Day, everybody. Thanks for spending part of it with us here on audiosportsonline.net. Number 9 Southeastern, number 10 Pike. And the Royals, as we mentioned before the Newcastle game, a very big stretch of 5 games to close out the season for the Royals. And so far through the first couple, they are looking very, very poised and primed, as sectional draw will be this weekend. Driving a little delay. That's no good by Gary. Gunn with a rebound. Now it's stolen by Daitwan Gary. He'll leave it off, and coming away and missing it. Now the ball gets hung up by Darian Porch. And fortunately for the Red Devils, anytime you see the ball pinned against the rim and the glass, it immediately becomes a held ball, and the possession error will favor the Red Devils. But they got the steal, and here's a very poor inbound pass. Here's Bond. Bond will take it and lay it up and in. Jaron Bond goes coast to coast, and he finishes it off, and the lead's up to 18 for the Royals. As Gary finds Porch. They've been without Justin Williams through much of the first quarter due to 2 fouls. He's out there now and kicking it out to the corner. Here's a 3 from the wing. That is up, and that is good by Daitwan Gary. He has 5. And the Red Devils get their first points here of the second quarter, but trail by 15. Connor Rotterman, that layup goes halfway down and comes back out. Red Devils the other way with Gary leading it. He will get it to James. Back to Gary. This is Williams. Williams from the free throw line, off the glass, no good. Tapped out, back to Williams, and they'll reset. In the lane, leaving it to Isaiah James off the Porch feed, and as James goes up, he's going to be fouled. And Jaron Bond is going to be called for the foul, his first, team third. And to the line will be Isaiah James. James, a 52% free throw shooter on the season. He's gone to the free throw line 128 times, and he misses that one. Tyree Piggy's back in, and he will take over for Justin Williams. Meanwhile, Jaron Bond will depart, and Jack Davidson is back in for Coach Brian Satterfield. Royals lead by 15. James missed the first. He has one more free throw due. And he does can that. So the 50% free throw shooter, a little bit better than 50%, does what you'd expect. He splits the free throws to make it a 14-point lead. 30-16 in favor of Southeastern with 3:44 left to go in the first half. Davidson left side. This is Austin Holtzum. We've seen man-to-man defenses from both teams throughout this first half as Holtzum will get it to Connor Rotterman working on Brendan Vernon. He'll try to drive. He was trying to give it to Davidson left side, and Daitwan Gary just simply picked his pocket. Driving and getting the bucket was Tyree Piggies. And now that 18-point lead is down to 12. 3:16, another steal. This time, though, they're going to get Piggies fouling Jack Davidson as he tried to reach over Jack, and Piggies is going to be called for his first. It'll be the 15th foul against the Red Devils with 3:14 remaining in this first half, and that's going to have Austin Holtzman triggering the inbounds and throwing it to Connor Rotterman, who will bring it into the front court. Connor to gun, long-range three on the way, that's off, and into the hands of Darian Porch. Porch to Pennington, left side to Piggies, back to Porch, right side to Daituan Gary. And Gary will back it up. 2:50 remains in the first half, 30-18. The lead was up to 18. It could be cut to 10 here with a bucket. Here's a jumper from the free throw line. That is up. That is good by Tyree Piggies. And just like that, it's down to a 10-point lead, 30-20, as the Red Devils gone on an 8-0 run. Connor Rotterman, he will drain the three as it falls over the front of the rim. And that'll push the lead back to 13 at 33-20. Gary left side to Piggies. They feed Vernon, and Vernon is immediately going to be fouled as Austin Holtzman is going to be hit with a reach-in foul. His first, team's fourth. 2 minutes, 13 seconds remain in the first half. Southeastern leads 33-20. They've led by as much as 18. And Justin Williams, one of the Red Devils' leading scorers, he was averaging, matter of fact, he is their leading scorer at 14.6 a game, as Isaiah James has got 14.3 points per game, so about neck and neck, but Williams scoreless, and he picked up 2 quick fouls in that first quarter, so he's been sitting much of this first half on the bench for Bill Zeig. Under 2 minutes left to play, first half, 33-20, driving and sending out left side is Gary, and as he makes a move, and we watch Jack Davidson go down, no whistle as Darian Porch will get the bucket. He leads the Red Devils with 8 points, and it's an 11-point Southeastern lead. Connerman, right side to Aaron Shank now in. Shank to Austin Holtzman. Austin picks up his dribble, now trapped, but he finds Connor, and now a whistle and a timeout called by head coach Brian Satterfield. He'll call a 30-second timeout as the Royals having a little bit of trouble right there in front of the Red Devils bench. And he calls the timeout, his first timeout used in this game, with 1:29 left to go in the first half. Southeastern leads 33-22. I'm Brian Scott. Thanks for joining us as we are winding down the regular season. Of course, the sectional pairing show will be this Sunday, and the Royals will have their final road game of this regular season coming up on Friday night when they travel to Brownsburg to take on the Bulldogs. There are still some possibilities as far as a Hoosier Crossroads Conference title, but we'll explain some of that at halftime. Inbounding Aaron Shank from Jack Davidson, and he'll take the basketball, and now he'll pick it up, and he'll find Connor Rotterman. 33-22, that's our score. 1:20 left to go in the first half as Davidson has the basketball. He will drive, kick it out to Holtzman. Holtzman leaves it to Shank. Thought about the three, now drives, lays it up, left hand. Shot no good. Gun underneath, gets the putback. Can't get it go back in, and saving it is Gary as he gets it to Piggies. Piggies, they send it down low. James drives, and his shot, it rolls off the back iron and into the hands of Connor Rotterman. Connor with the basketball, picks it up, and now he travels. He was looking, I think, to give it to Jack Davidson in the corner, but then Davidson made a cut baseline, and Connor just was trying to hold on to the basketball and was called for traveling. Justin Williams will come back in with 50.8 seconds remaining, and the Red Devils down by 11. They've trailed by as much as 18. They had cut it to 10, but that's about as close as they've gotten recently. Gary with the basketball up top. This is James in front of the three-point arc. Shot no good. Davidson with a rebound for the Royals. 30 seconds remain in the half. Royals up by 11. Davidson gets it across the timeline and now gives it to Connor Rotterman. 20 seconds remain. 33-22. Connor picks up his dribble. Still looking, and now a whistle and a timeout called by Brian Satterfield. Connor got himself into a little bit of trouble, was looking for somebody to come back for the ball, and rather than lose it on a 5-second call, Brian Satterfield will call another 30-second. That's both of them. So he's used both of his 30-second timeouts in this game. He'll have 3 full ones left with 13.8 seconds remaining in the first half. Southeastern leads 33-22. They went on an 8-0 run to begin the second quarter, and then they've watched Pike try to rally a couple of times. They took an 18-point deficit, cut it to 10. The lead's now 11, and the Royals have the basketball with Noah Smith, Jack Davidson, Connor Rotterman, Austin Holtzum, and Zach Gunn on the floor on this final 13.8 seconds, and Rotterman will trigger the inbounds, and he will throw it to Noah Smith. And Smith gets it across the timeline with 10 seconds remaining. Down to 7, Noah, left elbow, backs it up, down to 4. Gunn sees the clock, drives, and lays it up, and it won't fall. Zach was looking now. We do have a whistle. And they will say that is the end of the first half. The officials were going to say there was a foul, but it occurred after the shot. And the coaching staff will get the explanation. No foul. And that is the end of the first half. So we end the first half with Southeastern leading by 11 at 33-22. Check back in about 5 minutes. We'll have some halftime stats, and we'll also take a look at what's happening around the Hoosier Crossroads Conference, as well as what might happen come Friday night. This is Royals basketball on ASO. Halftime at Hamilton Southeastern High School, and the Royals lead the Pike Red Devils by the score of 33-22. I'm Brian Scott. Thanks for joining me for Royals basketball on Valentine's Day. Happy Valentine's Day. Before we take a look at our first half stats, let's find out what's happening in the Hoosier Crossroads Conference as we are winding down the regular season. In fact, most teams only have this week and, of course, next week, and then it is time for sectional. Sectional draw will be revealed on Sunday. As we head into play tonight, let's tell you what happened over the weekend. On Friday, Avon defeated Danville 73-60 last Friday night. The Bulldogs of Brownsburg, who will be the Royals' next opponent, they defeated Manual 63-46. Fishers beat Pendleton Heights 63-49. Of course, Southeastern with that big win against Carmel, 72-51. Westfield, they beat Hamilton Heights 66-61. In Zionsville, they walloped Lebanon 54-35. Last Saturday, Fishers came back and fell to Franklin Central 66-30. Noblesville, two better than Tech, 60-58. And Zionsville all over Anderson, 80-64. Tonight, the Bulldogs of Brownsburg are at Plainfield. Noblesville is at Lawrence Central. Western Boone is at Westfield. And, of course, Pike is here taking on the Royals. Coming up this Friday will be in Brownsburg as Southeastern will play the Bulldogs. Westfield will host Newcastle. Avon will host Noblesville. And Fishers will host Zionsville. That'll be a big key game as while the Southeastern Royals and the Fishers Tigers are rather arch rivals now. They are both going to be rooting for one another, especially Southeastern rooting for Fishers, because if Fishers can beat Zionsville and Southeastern beat Brownsburg, then both Southeastern and the Zionsville Eagles will be co-champions in the HCC this season. On Saturday, Avon will be at Greenfield Central, Hamilton Heights at Noblesville, and Kokomo at Westfield. And we'll round out the regular season next week with Center Grove at Brownsburg. Indianapolis Lighthouse will be at Zionsville on Tuesday as well. Kokomo at Fishers and Westfield at Mount Vernon. On Wednesday, Martinsville will be at Avon. The Royals' final regular season game will be here against Lawrence North on Thursday. And then on Friday, Fishers will be at Warren Central, Lebanon at Noblesville, and that will end the regular season. Heading into play tonight, Zionsville at the top of the HCC standings. They hold their own destiny in their own hands. They are 5-0 in the conference, 15-5 overall, and have won their last four. Southeastern, a better overall record at 17-4, but that one conference loss is against the Eagles. They're 4-1 in the conference. The Royals have won their last three. The Royals' next opponent after the Red Devils will be the Brownsburg Bulldogs. Brownsburg having a very good season. They are 13-5 this season, 3-2, however, in conference play, though the Bulldogs have won their last two. Noblesville picking it up as of late. They're 10-9 overall, 2-3 in the conference, but the Millers have won their last three. Fishers is also 2-3 in the conference, but 9-11 overall. The Avon Orioles are 8-11 overall, 2-3 in the conference, so they have won their last two games. Meanwhile, Westfield is 0-6 this season. In conference play, they are 5-13 overall, and they have won one game. They won their last game. So that's a look at the HCC. Of course, as we mentioned, the sectional draw will take place on Sunday, and we'll be seeing how that will shake up. For Hamilton Southeastern against intra-sectional opponents this year, they've done very well. They are 5-0 against teams from within their own sectional, as they have knocked off Carmel's, Fishers, Noblesville, Anderson, and Westfield. The only team, of course, they will not play in their own sectional opponent would be Guerin Catholic. Those two teams don't meet. Matter of fact, Guerin Catholic will not play any intersectional games. So right now, Southeastern doing very, very well against intersectional opponents, and with that sectional taking place at Carmel, that was a big win last Friday night for Southeastern against the Greyhounds, a place that most teams, they don't fare very well at Carmel, and Southeastern came away with a huge win. Matter of fact, in a blowout fashion. And just kind of as an aside, we kind of mentioned, I believe that's the first time ever that the Royals have beaten the Carmel Greyhounds in both football and basketball at Carmel in the same school year. Somebody might have to correct me on that, but of course Hamilton Southeastern had that huge win over the Greyhounds to start this year's football season off, and then with the win last Friday night, they beat the Greyhounds in regular season play at Carmel in both football and basketball this season. Our score at the half as the teams make their way back out on the court. Hamilton Southeastern leads the Pike Red Devils by 11 at 33-22. The lead had been as much as 18 before Pike started to make some inroads, especially in no small part to a few Hamilton Southeastern turnovers in that second quarter. The Royals, however, they got off to a good start. They led by 7 points after the end of the first quarter, and right now they lead by 11. Let's give you the halftime statistics. First off, for the visiting Pike Red Devils, they're led by 8 points from Darian Porch, 5 point each from Isaiah James and Daitwan Gary, 4 points from Tyree Piggies, and that is it. Nothing out of Justin Williams, their leading scorer. He was held scoreless in the first half, due in no small part to 2 early fouls. Elijah Pennington also with no points. Brendan Bernard and Michael Jarrell, they got into the game. They have yet to score. For the Hamilton Southeastern Royals, leading all scorers with 9 points is Zach Gunn. 6 points from Chaz Birchfield. Chaz got off to a hot start, getting the start in place of Aaron Etherington, but he also got hit with a couple of early fouls and spent much of the rest of the half on the bench. 5 points each from Aaron Shank and Connor Rotterman. 4 points from Noah Smith. 2 points from Jaron Bond and Nick Bowman. Jack Davidson and Austin Holtzum and Zach Munchner played. They have not scored. For Hamilton Southeastern, they are 3 of 3 from the free throw line compared to 1 of 2 from the charity stripe for the Pike Red Devils. The Red Devils hit 1 3-point basket in the first half, while the Royals hit 2. That's our score as we begin second half action. The Royals lead 33-22, and to begin the second half, it'll be the same group that started the game. It'll be Jack Davidson, Connor Rotterman, Chaz Birchfield, Noah Smith, and Zach Gunn. And for the Red Devils, it will be Justin Williams, Daitwan Gary, Elijah Pennington, Darian Porch, and Isaiah James. Royals have the basketball, moving left to right. In the home whites with the royal blue numerals in trim. Nice find, Birchfield to Rotterman. And Chaz, again, limited in that first half due to 2 quick fouls. But despite just having the 6 points, he was also doing a good job with several nice assists and also several good rebounds. And that basket pushes the lead up to 13. This is James. He's worked against Birchfield with those 2 fouls. Drives in the lane. His runner's no good, and there's Birchfield with a rebound. There we go left side. Zach Gunn leads Davidson. Davidson bounce pass to Rotterman. Rotterman in the baseline, and he'll put it up and in. And Connor Rotterman, 2 quick baskets. He has 9 points, and the lead's 37-22. And the Royals with a quick 4 points before the first minute is up here in the third quarter. And they have extended the lead to 15. Elijah Pennington hands the ball off to Darian Porch and gives it up to Justin Williams. Again, Williams is the Red Devils' leading scorer on the season. He and James about tied for team lead. Here's a 3. That's no good. Birchfield goes for the rebound, and he's bumped, and they'll say it went off the Red Devils, and it will belong to Southeastern. Again, Williams, one of their leading scorers, scoreless. He got 2 quick fouls, much like Birchfield did, but he was unable to score any points. Here's Chaz with the basketball, looking to feed Rotterman. Rotterman with the basketball and now backs it out. 37-22. Here is Gunn, has his shot blocked by James, but the Royals will retain possession. Zach with 9 points. Rotterman now tied for team and game high with 9 as well. Here's Birchfield with the basketball, and as Davidson gets the handoff, he's fouled by Williams. That'll be foul number 3 against Justin Williams. And Williams, they will call it against James. So Isaiah James is hit with the foul. First team foul against the Red Devils. They'll feed Zach Gunn. He'll work against James. And now kick it out. Birchfield thought about the 3, pull it back down to Davidson, back to Gunn. Gunn lays it up off the glass. Shot no good, and the ball comes down in the hands of Porch. Gunn still down on the floor. The Red Devils have numbers, and as Daitwan Gary spins, Gunn is going to have to go set down. He may have lost the contact. He's going to have to run into the locker room rather quickly, and Aaron Shank is going to have to come in. Meanwhile, Connor Rotterman was called for the foul. His first, team first, and that is going to send to the free throw line Elijah Pennington. Pennington on the season a 62% free throw shooter, and as I mentioned, the Red Devils 1 of 2 from the line in that first half. Pennington with his first free throw, that is up and good, and he also has his first point. So Aaron Shank comes in for Zach Gunn, who had to race down to the other end of the court, and I believe Zach Gunn has lost a contact the officials were looking for down at the other end. One of the officials thought he might have seen it, but that's why Gunn had to quickly go off to the locker room. He obviously has lost a contact. Meanwhile, Pennington hit the first free throw. He hits the second. First points for the Red Devils in the second half, but they trail 37-24. Roderman doing a lot of the ball handling here for the Royals tonight. Left side to Shank. Aaron had 5 points in that first half, a big three and then 2 big free throws. Roderman backs up, finds Davidson underneath. Davidson to Smith, but stepping in front was Gary to knock it out of bounds. Gunn's gotten his contact back. He's back in, and Shank sits down. So Zach Gunn back in the lineup for Brian Satterfield. And Davidson finds Connor Roderman. 37-24, 5:30 left to go, third quarter. Noah Smith drives, sends it out. Here's Davidson. That's a 2, but the shot's no good. And as Roderman taps it, he's fouled, and foul will go against the Red Devils. And the foul will go against Elijah Pennington. That's his second. Second team foul called against the Red Devils. As Roderman from Gunn, pull-up jumper on the way, rattles around and drops. And Connor Roderman has all 6 of the Royal points here in this quarter. They lead 39-24. Roderman now in double figures with 11 points. Porch backs it up, gives it to Pennington, left side, and then Daituan Gary will retreat back to the center jump circle with 4:51 left to go in the third quarter. And Southeastern up 39-24, a 15-point lead. They'll send it back out, and Gary will reset the offense. Right side, Williams, his shot is up. That's no good, and fortunately the ball falls into Connor Roderman's hands. He tried to get it to Birchfield, and now the quick outlet, they get it down low, and Davidson is going to foul Darian Porch. Jack Davidson and Zach Gunn both saw the ball coming down and both assumed the other was going to get the basketball. Instead, it fell to the floor. And fortunately, Roderman was there, but the Royals have it stolen away at the other end, and we'll come to this end. And at the line will be Darian Porch. Porch has 8 points, and now he'll have 2 free throws here. And he misses the first. Porch on the season, a 76% free throw shooter, and as a team, the Red Devils, not a very good free throw shooting team. They only shoot 65%, and it's starting to bite them a little bit here tonight. Porch does get the second. He has 9 points, and it's a 14-point Southeastern lead at 39-25 with 4:20 remaining in this third quarter. Roderman, left side to Gunn. Zach works, lays it up off the glass, and Zach Gunn now in double figures with 11 points as well. Here's another shot. This is a 3, and that one is good by Tyree Piggies. Piggies with 7, 41-28. Noah Smith with it, wraps it around to Roderman in the corner. 3 on the way. That's splash. Roderman picking up where he left off at Carmel. He has 14 points. He had 16 against the Greyhounds, and it's a 44-28 lead. Driving, trying to get a chest into Zach Gunn was James, but Gunn held his ground, and Birchfield came away with a rebound for Southeastern. Left side, this is Noah Smith, down to Gunn. Gunn in the lane, works and lays it up off of the front of the rim. 13 points for Gunn, 46-28, back to an 18-point lead. Justin Williams finally gets in the scoring column with a nice little layup, wrapping it around the front of the rim. Down to 16-point lead. Southeastern had briefly matched their largest lead of the game at 18, but now it's down to 16. But Noah Smith, he'll put it back to 18 as Noah Smith getting some easy looks, and now timeout called by Bill Zeich. And Bill Zeich will call a full timeout with 2:55 left to go in this third quarter. Southeastern has matched their biggest lead of the contest at 18. They led by 11 at the end of the first half. It's up to 18 now with 2:55 left to go in the third quarter. I'm Brian Scott. Connor Rotterman having himself a quarter. He has 9 points, 14 in the game. He had 5 in the first half. A couple of buckets from Zach Gunn, and right now what's got to be frustrating for Red Devils coach Bill Zeich is the easy looks that the Red Devils are giving the Royals at the hoop. As right now Southeastern able to get deep inside and finish off at the rim to stretch this to an 18-point lead. And out of the timeout, Justin Williams will be joined by Tyree Piggies, Darian Porch, Elijah Pennington, Daituan Gary, and Isaiah James. And for the Royals, Connor Rotterman, Jack Davidson, Chaz Birchfield, Zach Gunn, and Austin Holtzum. Here's James, leaves it left side. Piggy's shot is long. Ball's grabbed underneath by James, and he's able to put it back up and in. James with 7 points for the Red Devils as this ball's lobbed and stolen away by Gary. And Piggies will hand the ball back to Gary as Gary gets it back, gets himself across the timeline. With 2:20 remaining in the third quarter, 48-32, Royals with the lead. James drives, lays it up, lays it in. And the Red Devils respond with a quick 4 points to cut it to a 14-point Royal lead. Holtzum, guarded by Justin Williams, who has 2 fouls. And now 2 points. Holtzum finds Rotterman. Rotterman drives, lays it up, lays it in. 11 points in the quarter for Rotterman, now 16 points in the game. That matches the 16 points he had at Carmel, and the lead is also 16 points with 1:40 left to go in the third. Williams will back it out. Left side, James stops in the lane over Zach Gunn, gets the kind roll. Darian Porch with the bucket. 11 points for Porch. A 14-point lead with 1:20, and Gunn will finally get it across the timeline for Hamilton Southeastern. Drives in the lane, lays it up, shot no good, poked out of bounds by Chaz Birchfield. Substitutions, Nick Bowman and Aaron Shank will come in. Jack Davidson will leave, as will Chaz Birchfield. Brendan Vernon will also come in. He will give Darian Porch a spell. 1:13 remains in the third quarter. Royals are up by 14 at 50-36. I'm Brian Scott. Thanks for joining us for Royals basketball on ASO tonight. This is Isaiah James. He'll leave it for Vernon. He'll launch the three. That's high off the rim, and a nice rebound by Aaron Shank. He finds Rotterman. Rotterman left side to Bowman. Bowman finds Shank driving left side of the lane. It goes out of bounds, and they'll say it was last touched by a Red Devil, and we'll keep it here at the Southeastern end with 50.6 seconds remaining and a 14-point lead for the Royals. Rotterman to inbound from the baseline. Still looking. He'll get it into Bowman. Bowman thought about the three. Now drives baseline. Laid it up. Left it short on the rim. Coming back the other way is Gary, and he'll back it up and wait for his teammates. 39 seconds remain. And here's a floater, and Williams is going to be fouled by Holtzum. Holtzum thought he got most of the ball, but he's going to be hit with his second personal, third team foul against Southeastern here in the second half. And with 36.2 seconds remaining, it'll be Justin Williams going to the line. Williams is a 79% free throw shooter, and he hits the first of 2. Noah Smith will come in for Austin Holtzum. Lead is down to 13. Free throw by Williams could make it a 12-point deficit. And he missed that one again. Free throw shooting has not been kind to the Red Devils in this game, and they're leaving some points at the charity stripe. As Bowman gets the ball into the front court. 25 seconds remain. This is Connor Rotterman, who has 11 points, and now a steal by Piggies as Bowman's forced for the foul, and Rotterman looked like he got hit across the face. And he's checking for blood. Bowman's going to be called for the foul, 14th foul, and Piggies is going to go to the line, and Rotterman's still checking his lip. Matter of fact, I think they're going to take him out and have him checked over. Piggies at the line. He has 7 points in the game. And that one rattles home, and Piggies on the season a 70% free throw shooter. Jack Davidson actually will come in, and Rotterman will stay out there, and Piggies with one more free throw due. That one rolls out. Smith fights for it, and they'll say it went off of, however, Darian Porch. Bill Zeich not seeing it the same way, but the Royals will have the basketball up by 12 with 16 seconds remaining. They get it into Noah Smith. Smith across the timeline. 9 seconds remain. Ball's loose. Poked away. Here's Zach. Gunn will have it, and he will reverse it and put it in. 15 points for Gunn. Here's a half-court shot by Williams off the glass, and that's the end of the third quarter. Our score, Hamilton Southeastern leads Pike by the score of 52-38. The fourth quarter is on the way. This is Royals basketball on ASO. We're ready to begin the fourth quarter. I'm Brian Scott. Hamilton Southeastern ranked 9th this week, leading the 10th-ranked Pike Red Devils by the score 52-38. Southeastern once again got the lead up to 18, only to watch the Red Devils battle back. Red Devils 5 of 8 from the free throw line, left a few points there on the line. Southeastern, meanwhile, 11 points from Connor Rotterman in that third quarter. He leads with 16 points. Zach Gunn has 15 points, and we begin the fourth quarter with the Red Devils having the basketball. Once again, they trail by 14. They leave it down low. James shot, no good. Smith loses the basketball. James with another shot. This time he leaves it high off the glass and gets it to drop. He now has 13. Royals couldn't squeeze the orange, and the Red Devils ended up with a second chance opportunity. Noah Smith in the lane, lays it up and gets it to drop. Smith now with 8 points. It's back to a 14-point lead, but the Royals are slow getting back as Isaiah James was left all alone under the basket, and the outlet pass finds him for an easy bucket. And that is the first 45 seconds of this fourth quarter. Here's Birchfield from the free throw line. That's no good. Isaiah James with a rebound. He will get it to Gary. Gary in the lane leaves it deflected into the hands of James. James will put it up with the right hand. Shot's no good, but he's going to earn a trip to the free throw line. Chaz Birchfield will pick up his third personal 15 foul, and Isaiah James will be at the line, Darian Porch. Porch is 1 of 2 from the line, and Porch will get the kind bounce off of the back iron. Zach Gunn back in. Nick Bowman is out. Currently on the floor for Brian Satterfield is Jack Davison, Jaron Bond, Zach Gunn, Noah Smith, and Chaz Birchfield. And Porch with one more free throw. And he hits them both. 15 points for Darian Porch, and it's a 10-point Southeastern lead. Here's Zach Gunn. A little right-hand floater is up and good. 17 points for Zach Gunn, but we quickly come back the other way. Gary leaves it. Here is Porch once again. His baseline jumping will get the kind roll. And both teams lightening it up here in the fourth quarter. Birchfield drives, lays it up off the glass, no good. Tipped out by Davidson, but in the hands of Brendan Vernon. Here comes Vernon. He'll stop, pop the three. That's short. Ball's loose, and Birchfield squeezes the basketball and outlets it to Zach Gunn. Gunn, left side of the lane, throws it up. They will not count the basket. They will say the foul occurred on the floor before the shot. The ball went in the cup, but they will wave it off. And Isaiah James will be hit with his second personal, only the third team foul against the Red Devils here in the second half as Brendan Vernon leaves. And Tyree Piggies will come back in. This is Gunn with a basketball. He will drive, and as he goes toward the hoop, this time he will earn some free throws as he's going to be fouled. And I believe it's Piggies. Tyree Piggies, who just came in. He gets his second personal, fourth team. And Zach Gunn, who has got 17 points and is 1 of 1 from the free throw line, make it 2-2. Wild start to our fourth quarter as Gunn misses the second free throw. The Royal lead is 11 at 57-46 with 6:08. Quickly into the front court. Here's Piggies with the basketball left wing. This is James. James drives, takes about 5 steps, walking down the right side of the lane, and Bill Zeich is going to argue that, but pretty plain to see from most of the people here at Hamilton Southeastern, a few extra steps down the right side, and the turnover gives the ball to the Royals, and now we have a foul before the inbound. And Justin Williams will pick up his third. So before the Royals can get the ball inbounded, a foul, and Davidson gets the inbound pass, leaves it for Jaron Bond. Bond up to Birchfield. Birchfield dribbles, puts it up, little runner. That's a little strong, and this time they're going to get Chaz for an over the back, and that's going to be Chaz's fourth. 16 foul against Southeastern and a big foul against Chaz Birchfield. Chaz had 6 points, and he started off this game as a house of fire, but now foul problems have pretty much limited to him as Connor Roderman returns. Roderman has 17 points as he comes in for Jaron Bond, and now Aaron Shank will come in for Chaz Birchfield, who have to depart. Chaz with some big rebounds tonight and the quick 6 points, but he's given some high energy and high effort, but right now he has to sit with 4 fouls. And 5:44 remaining in this basketball game. Royals lead by 11. James lobs it to Porch. Triple team comes, and Porch, they'll say it was knocked out of bounds by Southeastern, and the Red Devils will retain possession. 5:36. 57-46. Royals with the lead, and it will be the Red Devils inbounding the basketball as Daituan Gary looks for somebody to hand the ball to. Lobs it out to Piggies, who will take it and be picked up by Connor Roderman. They look to set a high ball screen. Now Piggies will clear out, pull-up jumper from about 12 feet. It's no good. Ball's loose and into the hands of Noah Smith. Smith will have it poked away, but the Royals retain possession. Brian Satterfield looking to see that maybe that ball was going up, and he's going to get a little talking to civilly, or maybe not so civil. The official is giving him an explanation, and the Royals will have the basketball as Jack Davidson will trigger the inbound from the baseline. He looks, he finds Connor Roderman wide open, and Connor Roderman now with 18 points. 59-46, the Royals with the lead. 5:09 left to play. Here's Williams, and Williams gets the jumper. He now has 5 points, well below his season average of almost 15 points a game. He had 3 in that third quarter, 2 now, and that's been the extent of his scoring. He has also been limited by foul trouble. And now a whistle and a foul, and it's going to be against Tyree Piggies, I believe. That would be his third in the 16th foul against the Red Devils. And now the Red Devils 1 foul away from putting the Royals in the bonus. Southeastern also in the same boat. They have 16 fouls. Davidson picks up his dribble and finds Rotterman. Finds Davidson cutting the lane, but it's stolen away. Outlet to Williams. Williams will lay it up and lay it in as the Red Devils get the bucket in transition as they get the fast break, the easy bucket, and it's down to a single-digit deficit. 9 points, 59-50. And now Piggies is going to pick up foul number 4. And it's going to send the Hamilton Southeastern's best free throw shooter to the charity stripe as Jack Davidson is making an appearance where he is a 92% free throw shooter on the season. For Jack, he's yet to score a point, and he still hasn't as he missed the free throw. It's a 9-point Royal lead, 4:19. Still plenty of basketball left to be played. Here's a pull-up jumper by Gary, rolls around and falls. Daitwan Gary with 7 points. The lead is 7. As Rotterman will dribble, but we're going to have a timeout called by Hamilton Southeastern, a full timeout, as Brian Satterfield has watched a lead that has been as much as 18, a lead that was 14 at the end of the third quarter and is now down to 7 with just 3 seconds shy of the midway point here of the fourth quarter. Southeastern leads Pike 59-52. Darian Porch has done some damage here in this fourth quarter. He has 6 points, 4 points from Justin Williams, but now both teams will be in the bonus. Royals are 1 foul away from putting the Red Devils in the bonus. Meanwhile, Southeastern is already in the bonus. Davidson missed the front end of a 1-and-1. Connor Rotterman, he's been the big story, especially in that third quarter, to help put the Royals well out in front, and he has 18 points. And for Zach Gunn, he has 18 as well. So the two big scorers from the Carmel game also doing it here against Pike, but the Royals would like to see some help. Jack Davison held scoreless here in this basketball game, and Birchfield, after getting his 6 points in the first quarter, has been held scoreless the rest of the way, though he has been in foul trouble. Shank sends it to the backcourt to Rotterman, who will find Noah Smith. We're at the midway point of quarter number 4 with the Hamilton Southeastern leading 59-52. Shank finds Gunn. Zach down low to Aaron. Shank, one dribble, had to pick it up. Here's Gunn, got his man off his feet and then took a drive, but Zach is going to earn a trip to the line because the bonus is in effect. They believe the foul is going to go against Isaiah James. Let's wait. And it is against James. His third 8-team foul, and Zach Gunn is at the line with Austin Holtzum now coming in for Jack Davidson. Meanwhile, Zach Gunn is 2 of 3 from the line. And the 1-and-1 now in effect. He left that one well short, and he knew it as soon as he shot it. Rebounded by Pennington, and he will get it to Daitwan Gary. A 7-point lead for Southeastern, with still a lot of basketball left to be played. James drives right side, works, lays it up, no good. Ball's loose, and Zach Gunn comes away with it for Southeastern. He is harassed by James, leaves it for Noah Smith. Smith in the front court, drives, lays it up, tried to reverse it, sends it out to Holtzum for 3. Short, Holtzum follows, gets his own rebound, sends it to Aaron Shank, over to Noah Smith. Noah thought about the 3, drives, leaves it for Zach Gunn, and Gunn finishes it off. Some smart basketball there by Southeastern. Could have settled for some threes, instead worked it around, got the basket. They lead by 9 with 2:58 left to play. And as they get the ball down low into the hands of Daitwan Gary. He's going to be fouled, I believe, by Connor Rotterman. For Connor, his second, but the 17th foul, and that's going to. And this is a 2-shot foul for Daitwan Gary. Gary has 7 points. This is his first trip to the line, and he missed it. Gary on the season, a 72% free throw shooter, and as I mentioned, the Red Devils on the season only shoot 65% from the line, and they have been leaving some points there tonight. Aaron Shank will depart. Chaz Birchfield is back. Chaz has 4 personals. Meanwhile, Gary, one more free throw. He makes that one. He splits the free throws. It's an 8-point lead for Southeastern, and now leaving will be Elijah Pennington as Justin Williams also back in. Here's Holtzum to Rotterman to Birchfield into the front court. Birchfield finds Noah Smith. Smith will back it up. 2:43 remain in this basketball game, and the Royals lead is 8. They've led by as much as 18. As Smith gets a screen from Gunn and now backs it up, drives, goes to the cup, and he will earn a trip to the free throw line. And the foul will go against Isaiah James. That's his 4th. So now Tyree Piggies, he has 4. Isaiah James has 4. It's the 9th team foul, and Noah Smith is at the line where he is shooting 2. Noah has 8 points, make it 9 as that free throw rolls over the front of the rim. Noah on the season, a 67% free throw shooter. And he hits them both. 2 big free throws from Noah Smith. He now has 10 points, and that's the lead, 10. 63-53, 2:25 remain. Right side to Piggies, back up top. This is Daitwan Gary. They swing it around. They get it down low, and now a whistle and a kick ball as they made the entry pass to Darian Porch. I believe Chaz Birchfield got a foot on it, and they will send Daitwan Gary to inbound the basketball from the baseline. 2:18 remains. A 10-point lead for Southeastern. They lob it and chasing it into the backcourt. Picking it up and driving, and now we're going to have a blocking foul. A strong move by Isaiah James. Fans were looking for a backcourt, but no possession had been established. So they allowed him to get it in the backcourt. No backcourt violation. Connor Rotterman will be hit with his third 18 foul, and Isaiah James is at the line, 1-1 in effect. James is 1 of 2 from the charity stripe tonight. It's not been kind to the Red Devils in this basketball game, but he does get the first. He'll get the bonus. 12 points now for Isaiah James. A 9-point Southeastern lead with 2:13 remaining, and James could make it an 8-point game. And we have a lane violation, and it will be against Pike. So no free throw. No free throw there as the lane violation wipes it out. And it's a 9-point game, but a steal on the inbound, and that is something that Southeastern has had some problems with tonight. Darian Porch finishes it off, and it's now a 7-point game. Rotterman to Gunn. Gunn looking to get it in the front court. He finds Connor. Connor right side, Noah Smith. He fakes it, left the shot short on the rim, though. Here come the Red Devils. They have numbers. Bounce pass right side. Williams will finish it off. And it's down to a 5-point game. But Rotterman quickly the other way. Lays it up, left it short, but Gunn there to follow. A minute 35, 65-58 is our score. Red Devils with the basketball, and they trail by 7. Or trail by 8, excuse me. We'll get it right one of these days. They trail by 7, 65-58. And Noah Smith is going to be fouled by Tyree Piggies, and that'll be his 5th. Double bonus now in effect, 10th team foul against the Red Devils, and Noah Smith will be going to the line for the double bonus. Elijah Pennington will return. Piggies will have to sit. He finishes with 8 points off the bench, but fouls out. Noah Smith is at the line. Double bonus in effect. Noah is 2 for 2 from the line. Make it 3 for 3. And he has one more. He hits them both. Big free throws from Noah Smith. He has 12 points. The lead is 9. 1:14 remains. They go left side to Pennington, to Gary, up top to James. James drives, shot too strong off the glass, and the rebound's controlled by Gunn. And Gunn will now pick it up, and he gets double teamed, and he's going to be hit with a foul by Elijah Pennington, I believe. Oh. Elijah Pennington will be hit with his third. Double bonus in effect, and Zach Gunn coming to the free throw line. Zach is 2 of 4, however, tonight from the charity stripe. It's a 9-point lead with 58.1 seconds remaining. That free throw bounces off. So Zach having some issues from the charity stripe tonight. Normally an 84% free throw shooter. Second free throw, that bounces out. It's still a 9-point game. 55 seconds remain. Pennington with the basketball. He kicks left side. Williams will launch a three. That's way long. Birchfield catches the air ball. Tipped to Noah Smith, and Smith is going to be fouled by Daitwan Gary, his first, and Noah is going to go to the other line, and that is the Royal that has been hitting the free throws here in the fourth quarter, as Noah is 4 of 4 from the charity stripe in this game, all of them coming here in the fourth quarter. It's a 9-point lead, 43 seconds remain, and this could send it to double digits. That one rolls off, and Royals now having a few free throw problems. Gunn is 1 of 5, and Noah Smith splits the free throws to make it a 10-point game, 68-58 with 43 seconds remaining. The Red Devils, here's a three launched unopposed, really, by Daitwan Gary. Nobody picked him up. He just calmly strolled to the top of the key and launched the three. But it's still a three-possession game at 68-61. 38 seconds remain. I'm Brian Scott. It's been another good game for Hamilton Southeastern. The Red Devils have put a couple of charges together, but they really haven't been able to challenge Southeastern effectively here. They got it down to 5, but Southeastern keeps pushing the lead back. They've led by as much as 18, and they currently lead by 7 with 38 seconds remaining. The Royals will have the basketball. They are in the double bonus. Southeastern has committed 18 fouls, so the Red Devils still in the 1-1. Connor Rotterman has had an outstanding night. He has 18 points. Zach Gunn has 22. And 11 points for Noah Smith. $19 points for Darian Porch leads the Red Devils. Zach Gunn will trigger the inbound. They're looking to get Jack Davidson, and he's going to be fouled by Elijah Pennington. That'll be Pennington's fourth, and again, they'll send the Royals' best free throw shooter on this season to the line. Jack is scoreless, however, in this game, and the one free throw he attempted, he missed, but the double bonus is in effect, so Jack will get 2. A 7-point game. And Jack sinks the first. He has his first points of the game. Brendan Vernon comes in. He'll come in for Justin Williams. Williams has 9 points as Davidson hits both free throws. And It's a 9-point advantage. Davidson will depart. Holston will come in. 37.7 seconds remain. Southeastern leads 70-61. Driving left side, Vernon with a long-range three that's off, and we're going to have an offensive foul on the rebound against Isaiah James, and if that's against James, that's his fifth. They'll get James. Yeah, they have him for 4. I have him for 5, but we're going to go to the other end, and Chaz Birchfield is going to shoot some free throws. Chaz started off this game in a house of fire, but foul problems have plagued him since the first quarter. He's played in foul difficulty most of the night, and he hits the free throw, his first free throw of the night. That makes it a 10-point game with 32.4 seconds remaining. And second free throw is good. Chaz has had a very good night starting in place of Aaron Etherington, who is ill, as the Red Devils, Darian Porch is able to pick up the pull-up jumper, but it makes it a 9-point game, and we'll have a tie-up, and the possession error will favor Hamilton Southeastern. Southeastern leads by 9, 72-63. 18.1 seconds remain. Jack Davidson will come in for Austin Holtzum. As Southeastern is close to picking up their second win in a row against a top 10 opponent, as Connor Rodderman gets the inbound and he will head to the line. Foul will go against Daituan Gary, his second, double bonus in effect. And Connor, who has pretty much done everything tonight but shoot free throws, and he's going to do that now. Double bonus in effect, and he gets the kind roll off of the front of the rim. Connor on the season is a 73% free throw shooter. And again, he's had himself a very fine night, and he cans them both. The lead's back to 11 with 16.4 seconds remaining. The Red Devils into the front court. Long-range three, that's off. Gunn with a rebound, and he will send it to Noah Smith, who will send it to Birchfield, and they'll let these final seconds tick off. Hamilton Southeastern impressively has beaten their second consecutive top 10 opponent as they knock off number 10 Pike by the score of 74-63. We'll be back with some final stats in a moment. This is Royals basketball on ASO. Welcome back to Hamilton Southeastern High School. I'm Brian Scott as the Hamilton Southeastern Royals knock off Pike by the score of 74-63. Another impressive win against another top-ranked opponent. Just a few days after knocking off Carmel, the Royals knock off the Red Devils, and in doing so, they just keep being very, very impressive as they roll on to the sectional pairings that will be announced this week, with only just a couple of games now remaining. The game Friday against Brownsburg, and then next Thursday here to finish off the regular season against Lawrence North. Southeastern did it all pretty much, and they started off fast with really getting a good start from Chaz Birchfield, getting his start tonight in place of the ailing Aaron Etherington. Birchfield came up with 6 points, several rebounds, some great assists, but then foul trouble kind of beset Chaz. He had to go to the bench. Zach Gunn got 7 first-quarter points, and after the end of the first quarter, Southeastern also led by 7. They ended up leading by 11 heading into the halftime break, getting some big points, all-around contributions from the likes of Aaron Shanks. Connor Rodderman had another outstanding basketball game following up on his effort against Carmel. And in the end, Southeastern led by as much as 18. We saw the Red Devils make a couple of runs. They just simply couldn't catch up to Southeastern, who in the end started making a few free throws down the stretch, especially going to the line 18 times in the fourth quarter. And while they only hit on 12 of them, it was enough to keep them out in front, and they come away with the big 11-point win, 74-63. Let's give you our final stats as we have them for tonight's game. First off, for the visiting Pike Red Devils, they were led by 21 points from Darian Perch, 12 points from Isaiah James, 11 points from Daitwan Gary, 9 points from Justin Williams. He is their leading scorer. He was held scoreless in the first half and really didn't amount to much in the second half. He did lead a couple of those runs in that fourth quarter. He had 6 points in the fourth, but by then the Royals were able to keep out in front. 8 points from Tyree Piggies before he fouled out, and then 2 points from Elijah Pennington, and then that was pretty much the extent of the scoring. Brendan Vernon, who had a big game the last time out against North Central, he was held scoreless, and Michael Jarrell, he played but did not score. The Red Devils went to the line 15 times, converting on 10 of those free throws. They hit 3 3-point baskets. For the Hamilton Southeastern Royals, they were led by 22 points from now the Royals' all-time leading scorer, Zach Gunn. 20 points from Connor Rodderman, 13 points from Noah Smith, 8 points from Chaz Birchfield, 5 points from Aaron Shank, 2 points each from Nick Bowman, Jack Davidson, and Jaron Bond, and Austin Holtzum and Zach Muchner played. They did not score. Southeastern was 14 of 20 from the free throw line tonight, and they hit 4 3-point baskets. The Royals led by 7 at the end of the first quarter, 19-12. They led it by 11 at the break at 33-22. They led by 14 after the end of 3 quarters, 52-38, and they win this game, winning by 11 by the score 74-63. Their biggest lead of the night was as much as 18 points. For Southeastern, they improved to 18-4 on the season, while the Red Devils fall to 15-6. Our next broadcast of Hamilton Southeastern basketball on Audio Sports Online is coming up this Friday. It's the final road trip of the season. It'll be against the Brownsburg Bulldogs. The Royals still have a shot at a co-championship in the Hoosier Crossroads Conference. They'll need a little help. They'll need the Fishers Tigers to knock off Zionsville coming up this Friday. And, of course, the Royals would have to beat Brownsburg. We'll have all the action for you here on Audio Sports Online with a JV game beginning at 6 o'clock. Varsity game set to begin at 7:30, and that's coming up this Friday on ASO. Once again, your final score, the Hamilton Southeastern Royals defeat the Pike Red Devils by the score of 74-63. This is Brian Scott saying thanks for joining me on this Valentine's Day evening. Hope you've had a great day. Look forward to seeing you Friday night for more Royals basketball on ASO. Until then, so long, everybody.